Kathy, tell me about safety and vulnerability.
Safety and vulnerability. When I think of safety, I think of it being on one side and vulnerability being on the other side, as though they're almost opposites. And I've always thought of them as opposites until I realized that safety and vulnerability could meet in the middle and mesh, and it would create a kick-ass combination to use when something feels impossible. So let me first talk about what an experience of safety would be. Safety is a kind of tenderness within you, where you're home within yourself, where you have your own back, where you're on your side, where you truly want the best for yourself. And that does not mean you don't want the best for others, but you truly want the best for yourself. So there's my description of safety. Now my description of vulnerability, the unknown, or what you might consider the impossible. You have no idea how to get there. It seems impossible. Well, I know the impossible is possible. And the way I crossed from this to bring it together was the medicine of safety meshed with the medicine of vulnerability. So together, working together to get you the distance you need. So you first start with acknowledging how you feel. Well, you feel like it's impossible. You feel probably just awful in some way. And it's not where you want to be. Now, how do we get from this I feel horrible to the resolution, or what I'm going to call safety meshing with vulnerability? It's so simple, but I'm finding that the simple is so powerful. Like we just mentioned, you admit where you are, and you admit there's a distance in between. And then you take out your safety and vulnerability essence or energy or medicine or whatever you want to call it, and you put it together. So let's give a few examples how safety and vulnerability mesh together. I'm going to use Toastmasters for that example. The idea of being seen or speaking out was terrifying for me, but I knew it was necessary. And so I created safety in one location at Toastmasters by practicing over and over again. I was vulnerable in a safe place where not everything was on the line all at once. It was a practice and a learning and a growing. And this is where I learned that the biggest enemy for me was this chaotic feeling like I'm hanging over a cliff and everything in my whole life, my very existence, depended on getting this right now. And this is what I healed by putting safety and vulnerability together. This part of me that felt it was hanging over a cliff, that everything was a do or die thing. And I realized it was not. Everything was a step into it with the best of your ability, bringing your safety with you and stepping into the unknown and vulnerability and doing it to the best of your ability. And that is what you needed. So you're really asking for a new way, and you're trying it out. And to get to this new way, you're bringing two medicines together, safety and vulnerability. How is my description of safety and vulnerability? Are you good with it? Safety being tenderness, a sense of home, having your own back, and vulnerability being what you think is the impossible or the unknown. When you bring them together, just ponder both things. What makes you safe? What makes you vulnerable? And do a hand motion or a heart motion to bring them together. And you'll start to get an idea of these amazing medicines. Now I want to give another example of how safety and vulnerability went together. Last night was Toastmasters, and I was feeling really raw. And I wasn't going to go because I didn't want anyone to look at me, which is what I feel like when I feel raw. And I said, okay, you don't have to go. But then I realized staying home didn't feel right either. It just didn't feel right. And so I said, well, shall I go? And I decided to go and bring my safety with me. But I also brought this rawness or vulnerability with me as well. As soon as I arrived at Toastmasters, they meshed together, and I had this opening feeling of realizing all I had to do was admit I was raw, and the safety within me would help to shift it and heal it. And then, of course, I had the most exquisite meeting ever because I was open and free. Safety and vulnerability, they can really be a kick-ass combination to get you where you really need to go. Another way to heal, and there are so many amazing ways to heal. Would love to see you at Gentlebed Healing, and for now, mesh your safety and vulnerability together and create something truly beautiful. Thank you.